Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining me, Thunderleaf fans. Looking forward to another week of Donnie Does It. We're going to continue our project we started last week, the little dragonborn bust statue here, but just a little decompression session here in the middle of the week. Good way to wind down your Wednesday. Hopefully, you've all had good days today, and weather's beautiful like here, and that's all we can hope for. But otherwise, just hope to join me in chat here and happy to hang out with everybody. Trying to figure out my chat here. It's giving me read only mode. Let's see if I can fix it real quick. My day was pretty good. Hope everybody else's was. Let's get some music going here. So, yep, we'll just join in with my usual elevator music here, as I've had pointed out a couple times this week. But it's just a decompression session. I can't. It's hard to get distracted when I have lyrics or something super catchy like that. It will just go around in my head. So it is. I generally like just a little background noise. Let's bring this channel. Since chat's not working, let's bring that over here. So yeah, I've been kind of playing around with what I want to do with the model next, and I think what I'm planning, so is we're going to continue the red down through the chest piece here. Nice real bright gold on these kind of raised areas, and maybe a little bit more of a muted yellow along here. And then on the shoulder pads themselves, I'm going to go with like a brownish orange color for the leather, just really kind of making that look like a natural material, but then maybe like a gold embossing all along it for the details. So yeah, got a lot to do there, a lot of square footage on the model, so we'll see what we can get done today. So what are we working on this week, Greg? I'm using this brush for this. So I've been playing with some new brushes the last couple days, little wider handled. So they're generally low cost. I don't usually spend a lot of money on brushes. I think we talked about last week, but that's kind of the nice part, is then you can see what works for you. There are some reasons to get a couple good expensive ones as you progress, but yeah, so much of what I do is fine with a just regular old cheap brush. I've got a whole tanned sheepskin that really just needs washed, and then that thing could be turned inside out in You can make me some woolly slippers there for winter. Just a couple places I noticed I wanted to touch up the red as well. Get the back done, and want something a little different since that's where we ended last time. So you'll notice I flip the model around a lot, like trying to find the most comfortable angle to get to where I'm getting. Don't let yourself get trapped. It's actually why I don't like using handles. Obviously I'd need a big old handle for this thing, but with smaller stuff that's a little different. But yeah, I just end up flipping the model around so much that it just gets in the way having a little extra lever on the end of it. Alright, so I think that covers the red. So we can. Let's see what I think that is. I'm in between colors here. I just figured I'd show some of the things I've painted in the past that are similar, and just kind of a range of what I've done in the past. So this is a D&D miniature that we picked up some time back. Painted it up for our local D&D game that we'd have in the basement. And yeah, so I always like to have really cool ones like this. This guy served as a very big guy. And then I do a lot of 40K painting, so this is one of my favorite models from 40K. But we'll show some, let's see if I can hold them without shaking too. That might help y'all see it. This guy especially shakes a lot. So that's one thing too. I mean, I've got a pretty shaky hand, as you've noticed if I hold things like that. Um, don't let it hold you back in painting. It's pretty easy to brace things. So yeah, I do really enjoy some new cool stuff like that. 3D printing is a wonderful world. Speaking of 3D models I want to paint, I just saw the new models being released by Tabletop Titans, another stream out there that does some great Warhammer content and fantasies and miniatures. But they just announced their new game they're creating, so congratulations to them. And I can't wait to paint some of those models because they look really cool. Alright, so we're going to do some brown here. We'll get a nice amount on the out here. So I'm a sucker for a good pun, and I think you've heard this story, Greg, but that model actually was. So Games Workshop has a lot, or not Games Workshop, Wizards of the Coast and D&D have all sorts of fun puns built into the game, and that's one of them. Is there's a small giant, and it's not quite a large human, so they actually call it a ver-big because he's a very big dude. Like, you can't make these things up. Thin out that paint, get a lot off the brush. So I'm kind of spinning the brush, just kind of get excess paint off. Real easy to get too much on there, go on thick. A lot easier to do multiple layers. So I try to be pretty neat when I'm doing these kind of things, easier to do once. But in this case, since I'm doing gold on these raised bits, the color I'm using is going to disappear real quick into that. So I'm not super worried about getting the raised areas. Music level good for everybody. It's always I kind of fade them in so that it doesn't blast anybody at the beginning, but it should be about the same it was. But just let me know. So anybody got anything exciting going the rest of the week? Any big projects or anything you're looking forward to? What's getting you through these last couple days? checking on Twitch here real quick. It looked like it had froze up, but seems to be back. Alright, yeah, I'm really liking the way that brown looks. It's going to be a nice little complement to the red. I'll probably push it a little lighter towards brown as I layer on different colors. See what we can do. Give it a little bump there. Turn it down in my own ears real quick because it is pretty loud in my side. Much better. So hopefully that comes in a little better for you. Little Spanish guitar in this one. Ready for a nice, cool beverage on a patio in the sun with this song. Very cool. Yeah, play with them a little bit. It's the video editing still is a little bit much for me. I did the intro for the most part. I had a little help there from both the templates and some other great people at Thunderleaf. Amy, who's an expert on the video stuff, and Greg as well. Yeah, I just really struggle with it. Like, every time I try to do something, I feel like I end up with a file like 3 times too large. These panels underneath the arm shoulders. And in some of those areas where I'll never even be able to see it. I will say that's one of the fun parts about this journey has been, like, developing some really cool skills for our project here, and that's to be valued. I never thought I'd be doing any streaming or anything like that, and definitely learning how to do that and making the most of it. I think we have a lot of fun on the channel, and really hopeful for the future. I let those lower pauldrons kind of go a little bit more translucent, get that black shining through. I don't know how much, yeah, you can see that on the camera there. But kind of the perks of doing the pre-shading and highlighting with the slap chop dry brushing with the white You can just kind of leave that shadow in there and it really will give you some starker blends, more depth to the color without any extra effort. I think that's our brown. Alright, so when I've got raised areas like this, where I don't want to necessarily get anything else, using the brush very carefully, using the flat edge, controlling how much paint is on the brush, which I had way too much. Keeping your strokes nice and controlled. You know, the way I'm angling my brush sideways too, I make it so that it's more difficult for me to hit the areas I don't want to hit. So that's kind of the way to attack those areas. And it is inevitable. It will go where you don't want it. Just fix that up a little later. It's not a big deal. So there's just like two hands almost look like the stubs of hands grabbing on down here. And I just have no idea what they were. Makes it super awkward to paint. Not sure what the intent is. How's it going, Binary? Yeah, Greg, you really got to thin that paint down super far. It's generally, in my opinion, better to go too far than not far enough. But that as well too, it always varies based on the brand of paint and even within the colors. Certain colors need a little more thinning, others don't. But as well, it's then making those choices. Like, I knew I wanted to see more of the dark below, so thinned it down a little bit there for those parts. It takes about 30 seconds. Depends on how much you put on. when I use some of the more liquidy paints, it takes a little longer, but they actually dry really quick, which is really good. There's definitely the opportunity to put thumbprints on things, though, so you do have to be careful. Turn the air conditioning on for a little bit here. Let me know if that comes through. Sponge gold on the red again. Gonna have. Looking for a paint. That's all it says. I would say 8 million paints. I would say I'm looking forward to this weekend. Chat, but I've got a really exciting tickets to the D20 Tavern, 20-sided tavern. Little early birthday present for my wonderful fiance. Got me those, so super excited to go see that. There, I knew I was good. It's doing so good. There's the fat brush stroke. Got it in the room. Stretch the back, sitting upright, which is not my strong suit while doing this. But think about posture. Please, take enough breaks that you don't hurt yourself. We're not the spring chickens we used to be. Clean it up. Should be just And easy peasy. A little bit more detail in these tangents. White probably here, just to finish this. I probably have switched a little bit smaller. 15th are ability. No, it's on the bone features here. Now that we've got this khaki going on. Yeah, as soon as I painted it, though, I was like, I just Supermaned him, unfortunately. But let's be honest, there's a reason it works. I'm pretty happy with that. See how that kind of looks when so just a lot of different contrasts in those horns there. That's kind of what I was going for. You can see I kind of left some of the dark down in the undersides and then tried to brighten up the top. We have a nice gradient of browns, tans in there. I think a little bit more real. So, really, yeah. So I have this area down in here. I'm just not 100% sure what to do with it. But coming to the point where I need to do something. I just go with the same brass color. Cop out, but it's easy. I definitely don't think I want to do any more of the all we're going to want to do there. Seemed to take a little break there. Switch to the right here. Oh my goodness, this paint is... Paint decided it's going to live in the cap. So, let's use it. Dog snuck up on me. Don't know what I thought it was, but didn't look like a dog out there. Go. Anybody else working on any projects? We got Reagan here working on slippers. What else? Who's else being a hobby dog? One's that's pretty sharp on there, I think. think it'll take that one back towards us a little bit. Some kind of rivet, maybe. On the back. Yeah, I definitely am just kind of grooving in the zone to the music. It's definitely caught some sampling in these songs today. I've recognized little snippets from other works, but you know that's hard to do. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it too. It motivates me, one, just on my own personal projects as well. And then, yeah, just taking a little time in the middle of the week, doing something that's hands on, keeps you focused. It's been one of those things. I started doing this at point in my life where I was struggling with some things and really did. Rather than just playing the same old game, I tend to be a routine person, go to those familiar places, but that doesn't necessarily engage your mind the way doing something. Anybody watching anything while they play, or you just, other than me, or you usually watch TV when you craft, listen to music? Okay. All right, any go-to artists that we belt out? The classics, classic rock or something? Definitely nothing like belting along with like old school Queen rock anthems. And go for a couple more models. If anybody's curious to see some of the other things I've done. Smaller figurines. So, some DnD characters. Just some really cool little models. I really don't want to show off the eyes with the big hair because she is quite googly eyed. Eyes are just the bane of my existence. One on the bear turned out pretty good though. So these took probably about actually was working with some new techniques. I would guess these two models each took maybe about 20 minutes each. Just kind of was a test and speed painting for those. Usually I'm pretty slow, but it's another quick D&D one. Little mind flare here. Greg's favorite. Definitely could do a lot more with this model, I think. It's really cool. Yeah, got some nice texture. Really like the way the kit turned out. Just really texture. I'll show off the Warhammer model. Trying not to show off too many of those. Warhammer's got a lot of models and a lot of really well painted models out there. So, yeah, it's a little sample from my Death Guard. Alright, so we are getting pretty close. Oh, I just found one other little patchy. So I think these little trim pauldron pieces of it. Still gotta figure out what I want to do with whatever the heck these little nodes are. It's supposed to be some kind of buckle, maybe. Just not sure. What I've been kind of stalling on, probably will tackle next week, and we'll do a little bit more with the scales to push that color. Really do some good highlights, bring down some purple. We'll try some new things called glazing. It's a technique I've been keep watching videos on, and I just haven't quite got down yet. But yeah, the scales are going to be a lot of work on this to really, but that feels like a big part of this model. So really try and push those colors on those, especially down here on the arms. I think that's going to really help make those pop. So hopefully I've done a little better job. I have some information that I was having trouble keeping the model on the screen last week, so a little better job of that. I'm going to be pretty conscious of it. Jason. Welcome back this week. Thank you. Just missed me showing off my Death Guard paint job. Actually, a full Death Guard army painted up now, and I just recently finally finished my Drukhari, which, to be honest, I started when we were still doing paint sessions. But yeah, a fully painted Drukhari, fully painted Death Guard armies. It's just showing off the take this one. Finish Supermaning this guy. Get the last little bit of yellow here. Next. Oh, what did I do here? Oh no. All gone wrong. If I get yellow anywhere else. What did I do? Yeah, I think we're okay here. Little bronze to fix. Oh man. Nothing ever happened. Nothing to see. All right, everybody. Well, I think that's a good point to probably call it for the week. I'm really happy. I made a lot of progress this week. Red finished up here, bronze, gold. Real happy with that. Did a little highlighting on the horns and teeth. We'll come back next week. We'll work on a little bit bringing some touches back in, fixing up some spots. Figure out what I'm going to do down here with this bit of tunic. Got the flint. Start pushing some highlights in there. But thank you all for joining me this week, and check out Rave Reviews here in a couple hours, where we watch Greg fight some more in Dark Souls. So I'm Donnie, and I will see you all next Wednesday. Donnie Does It.